Hello everyone, this is Professor DePaulo. Welcome you to Psych 265, fully online. And I'm going to walk you through how to navigate the course for this semester in Brightspace. So Brightspace is something we've been using now since the summer. And it's a little bit different than Blackboard, but I'm going to walk you through some of this stuff and try to make this as easy as possible for you to navigate. So here we are at the home page. And as you can see, there's announcements. Now, I haven't posted anything yet. Whatever I want to let you know immediately, I will post through announcements. So you should be getting notifications of the announcements in your email. And you should be checking the website every so often to view any announcements. We have course information, a weekly guide, written assignments, the discussion board, and help and resources. So before you do any of this stuff, if you're not used to using Brightspace, you would want to do the Brightspace tutorial. So go under Brightspace Help, and it says Student Brightspace Orientation. You would do the Student Brightspace Orientation if you're not familiar with Brightspace, and it walks you through how to navigate the web page and so on and so forth. I'm also going to do that for you, but I would advise you to do the Student Brightspace Orientation if you haven't done it already. My name is Dan DePaulo. I've been working at BMCC since 2012. I did my PhD at Rutgers. I'm a health psychologist. I'm interested in a bunch of different things, including somatization, which is people that have physical ailments, but there's no known organic basis. So it's basically something's wrong with me. My head hurts, my stomach hurts, my back hurts, and it seems to be stress related, but there's no pathological or organic cause. So I'm a believer in psychosomatic issues, that you have psychological problems can then translate into physical problems. And so that's one area of my research. Other areas include anything health related, including vaccination. I'm interested in COVID. I'm interested in other diseases and prevention of those diseases, sort of how people navigate those crises and those diseases like COVID, because COVID was kind of a disaster. Not in terms of people dying, because it was still bad with people dying, but in terms of how people handled it. And, if there's anything in the future that could be worse than COVID, we'd be in trouble. I'm also interested in looking at various interventions for these psychosomatic conditions, and also just plain old, I'm too stressed, I'm too anxious, I'm miserable, I'm not focused. And so I look at things like meditation, looking at mindfulness meditation, how it affects people's behavior. I also look at other kinds of social support issues and how social support can be altered and what it influences within your life. And this is another thing tied to the pandemic, because we were all kind of isolated, and the issue of social support is even more important. Do you have a support system, or are you completely alone? And what are the negative outcomes of not having support systems? So if it's clinical, if it's health related, medical, and it's tied to psychology, which basically everything is, I'm interested in that sort of way of looking at the world. So that's me. I've taught research methods since the early 2000s, and I also teach stats. Those are the courses I mainly teach, and I also teach abnormal psych, and whatever else, drugs and behavior, things like that. I'm also interested in that stuff. So I have a lot of interests, including science and math and all kinds of other things. So I'm here to guide you. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I answer my email pretty regularly. I am not in my office very much, so the best way to contact me is through email. So let's start with the course information tab, and we're going to look at the syllabus. So let's start with the syllabus first. So I introduced myself already. This is Research in Psychology. This is my email. Please contact me through email pretty much exclusively. Phone not available, office not applicable, because I'm not really in my office that much. I am not in the city all the time, and so therefore your best bet to contact me is through email. I will have office hours Friday afternoons on Zoom. So please email me before the office hours so I can give you a time. Because what happens is everybody comes at once and you're just waiting and waiting and waiting, and it's kind of ridiculous, right? I mean, being in a Zoom waiting room is not very fun. So if you email me in advance, I can give you some times. I can say, come this time, come that time. You know, and this also happens with the advising issue. So I do a lot of advising, and that takes up office hours too. So I want to schedule you around the advisement, so you're not just, I'm not wasting your time. I don't want to waste your time. So if you email me, if you want to come to office hours, that makes it easier for me to give you a dedicated time where I can actually sit and talk to you instead of having you in the Zoom waiting room. Course description. This is course designed to introduce students to psychological research, the research process, ethical issues in research, conducting literature review, collecting, analyzing data, summarizing data. This is going to be all about research. And I want to start very basic. I'm not going to have you do statistics at all in this course. I will do everything for you that has to be done statistically. Because it's not a stats course. But you're going to be reading research articles. We're going to be doing a data collection in the course that you're going to be writing up. So you'll be doing literature reviews. I'll be showing you how to do that. And I'm going to try to keep it simple. However, that doesn't mean that the course is easy. There's a lot of work in this course. And the more you put it off, the worse you're going to be. So my expectation in the course is that you do the work every week. This is a fully online course. I expect you to be doing the work weekly. I do not expect people to wait to the end of the semester and try to do everything. If you're going to do that, it's going to be a disaster. So if you're the kind of person that procrastinates forever and then feels that they can make up the whole semester in the last 2 weeks of the course, you're going to have a problem in this course. You need to do the work as it's assigned. Plus, if you keep asking me for extensions, I'm going to be asking you why. I don't mind if there's a problem, you're sick, you have an emergency, something happens. Once in a while, you need an extension on something, you email me. I'm pretty reasonable with that. But if you're asking me constantly for extensions and open up the assignments because you didn't do them the whole semester, I'm not going to be happy. And that's kind of not what you want in the course. You want me to be happy. You want to be happy. We all want to be happy, right? We all don't want to be like opening up every assignment for the semester at the end, because then I'm very unhappy because I'm asking the question, what are you doing? If you don't have time for the course, then talk to me about it. Maybe that entails you dropping the course and taking it when you have more time available, right? I expect you to do the work every week that I assign. And if you do that, the course should be very smooth. If you don't do that, then the course is going to be rocky. And it's going to be really inconvenient for you and really inconvenient for me. I don't like doing everything at the end of the semester. I have enough to do at the end of the semester. Asking me to grade everything at the end is not fair to me. So have respect for me. You know, make my life easier, and your life will be easier. Please do the work every week. In terms of the student learning outcomes, we're going to be using Google Scholar, PsycInfo for the literature review. We're talking about APA style. I'll be talking about different types of research designs, the IRB process, which is not very friendly all the time, informed consent, debriefing, conducting research, and running up research. Now, I'm not expecting you to give a polished paper by the end of the semester. I'm expecting you to learn through feedback. So you'll be doing these rough drafts. You'll be writing 4 rough drafts. A rough draft of the introduction of the paper, a rough draft of the method, a rough draft of the discussion, and a rough draft of the title, the abstract, and the references. So those are your 4 rough draft assignments. I will do the results for you. So we'll do a data collection survey. I'll analyze it for you. You're going to be doing everything else. And you're going to be writing rough drafts throughout the course. And then at the end of the semester, you're going to be writing a revised final paper based on my feedback. I will give you feedback in Brightspace. You will use that feedback and you will make the changes I suggest for the revised paper. It's pretty basic. You're going to be learning through feedback because that's how I learned too. So when I was a student, I always learned through feedback. As a researcher, when I submit a paper, I submit it, it goes into review, peer review. Usually 2 or 3 people give me feedback. They say, we want you to revise the paper and do these things. And then I have to revise and resubmit. That is the publication process. So you'll be doing something similar to the publication process, revise and resubmit, but I will be your reviewer. And I will point out all kinds of things you need to work on in the paper. And that is to help you. That is not to criticize you. So all the feedback will be constructive. But I want to see an effort. So these rough drafts are going to be part of the final paper grade. So I want to see an effort on the rough drafts, and I want to see an effort on the final paper in that you used my feedback to make changes. That's very important, effort. And that you're trying, and that you're really focused. And I expect, I wouldn't say I expect a tremendous amount, but I expect a good effort, I expect a good performance. I don't expect laziness. So please do not be lazy. Please do the work on time. And please put the effort in. It sounds silly that I have to keep repeating this, but every semester there is a bunch of students who do not do the work. And then at the end of the semester, they are begging, please help me. Please do this for me. Please allow me to make this up. Look, I'm telling you now, I can't do everything at the last second. You have to do the work during the semester. If you don't do the work during the semester, you need to contact me and explain what's going on. And I am very understanding that people have all kinds of things happen in their lives. Believe me, I've had plenty of bad things happen in my life. I understand when things go wrong. We need to talk about it. Do not disappear and then reappear at the end and say, oh, I haven't done anything because I had this problem and this happened and that happened. And I understand these things happen, but you can't disappear. If there's a problem, please drop me an email. And if we need to meet on Zoom, we'll meet on Zoom and talk about it. I am available. Please contact me. Do not just disappear and reappear. So I'd like to get that out of the system because it happens all the time, and it makes my life hard, and it's hard on the students. And I'm not looking to fail people, but if you don't do the work, you will fail. That's basically the rule, right? I expect the work to be done. You can look at these tables here: general education learning outcomes, stuff, right? Required reading. Discovering the Scientist Within, 3rd edition, with Achieve. So Achieve is the online homework system. You need to be using this. Unfortunately, you have to get it. Now, the cheapest option is buy the Achieve online through the publisher, and you'll get the ebook with it. So you can read the book online, and you can do the Achieve online. That is the cheapest option. If you want something to hold to read, the next cheapest option is the loose leaf. So I ordered the loose leaf in the bookstore, but you can also buy it on the publisher's website. You can probably also buy it online. But it needs to come with Achieve. One-term access. It has to come with Achieve. Do not buy anything without Achieve. Because the Achieve is the online homework, and that's mandatory. The easiest thing is to buy the ebook. Here's the ISBN. It's list price. That is the ebook with the Achieve that you get for the semester. Now you may say, why do I need Achieve? Well, since we're doing an online course, Achieve is going to make sure that you're processing the information. It's going to help you consolidate the information. Because I am not going to be around every week to make sure that you're doing the readings and you're understanding the information. Because this course is self-paced. So the Achieve helps me understand what's going on. Are you processing it? Are you doing the homework? The homework will help you learn. And it will help you do better on the exams. And it will help you do better in the course. That's why I mandate the Achieve. I like the Achieve. I used the previous component, which is called Launchpad, for many years. And now they've changed Launchpad to Achieve. And I'm using Achieve. And I have all positive experiences with it. Especially for these fully online courses. So, to register for Achieve, you need to go to this website, the AchieveMacmillanLearning.com, and you're going to enroll in the course. So we're going to do that. I'm then going to go to the Achieve. You're going to get here, right? You're going to have options. I need to enroll in a course, or I need instructor access. Obviously, you're not the instructor, so you need to enroll in a course. And then you're going to enter the course ID here, which I provided for you. So the course ID is 8VMCFQ. Let's copy that and paste it in here. And this will allow you to enroll. Now it says here that I'm not able to enroll until January 25th while I'm making this video on January 24th. So by January 25th, you're going to put this code in, you'll be able to enroll. And then you have the option. You'll get a 2-week free trial. Once you enroll, it's 2 weeks free. And then it expects you to pay. Please use the same email address that you used for the free trial for the paid access after the free trial is over. Make sure you're using the same email address so I don't get duplicate accounts in the gradebook. And that's the simplest way you can do it. You buy the Achieve. You can do the 2-week free trial, and then you can buy the Achieve, or you can just buy the Achieve at the beginning. And you get the ebook, and you get the Achieve homework system, and I'm going to show you what that looks like right now. So I have an account, obviously, so I'm going to sign in here and put in my information. And we're in this course here. This is what your course is going to look like. Research in Psychology. This is just a schedule here, right? I can view the whole course content like this versus course content. And so every week I give you different assignments. So the first week you're going to have this intro section here. Welcome to Achieve, and you can see the due date is right here. Right? And this is orientation assignment. It's worth 5 points. So this is going to basically walk you through how to use Achieve. It's pretty basic. And if you do that, you're going to get the 5 points, and you'll be done with that assignment. Let's also do the first week is chapter 1. As you can see, it says February 2nd. That's the due date, 11:59 p.m. These books here, this black book symbol, means these are the readings. So that's the ebook. So you just click on here and you get the ebook. Right? And you can just read the ebook here. And then once you're done with this, you're going to move on to the next part. So where you see the black book here, click on the next part. This is the next part of the ebook. Personally, I read online all the time. On screens, whether it be a tablet, whether it be my phone. Probably not the best idea to read off your phone constantly. I mean, I do it, but my vision is like getting worse and worse probably from doing it. But I read off the computer all the time. If you don't like reading off the computer, then you can consider the loose leaf version with Achieve that I've ordered in the bookstore. You could also rent a book with the Achieve and rent a textbook through the publisher. And you'll see that with the options there. It'll give you that option. But I am perfectly fine reading off of screens and bringing them around, and it's convenient. So I like the ebooks. And the publishers always send me the ebooks. They don't even send me hard copies of books anymore. Everything's ebook. It's just easier that way. And then you can see these activities that have points. So whatever activities have points, these are tasks that you have to do. So this is a video activity, another video activity. This learning curve, this is like a flashcard based system that sort of quizzes you on the content. So all of these things that have points here are things you have to complete. And these are the due dates, right? And then you see more readings, which is the dark book symbol. And then more activities to complete. And then at the end, you have flashcards, which are just to quiz you on the vocabulary, right? That's not worth any points, but you can review them. It's good to review the flashcards. And then the thing worth the most points is the practice quiz. So you'll do this at the end when you've done everything else and you've done all the reading and you've done the flashcards. You'll do the practice quiz and then you'll have a grade on that, and that goes into the grade book. And then you're done with the assignment for the week. So you want to make sure you complete all these things with points next to it and make sure you're doing all the readings and the black symbols. Now, if you don't like just clicking on each of these links, you can get the whole book by clicking on this thing that says ebook. Click on ebook, and now you can read the whole chapter at once. So if I want to read chapter 1, I can read chapter 1, start at the beginning, and then just keep going through it, right? And then clicking on down here, you can click on this, or you can click on the link, it doesn't matter. The link is down here or the link's on the side. And you read through the whole book this way. If that's easier for you, it doesn't matter. It's the ebook is the ebook. It's the same as the print book. It's that you have to click a couple links to get there. So that is the Achieve homework system with the ebook, which I think is the easiest way to navigate the course. And it's the way I navigate the course, but I am providing the option to get the loose leaf if you so desire, if you need something to physically hold. Everybody's different. Like I have some students, they're fine with ebook. Most students are fine with ebook. But then you have some students that they want to hold something. When they want to read something, they want to they want a regular book. They don't want to read the ebook. They don't want to read their Kindle. They don't want to read off their iPad. They want to have a physical copy, and that's fine. You just have to pay a little bit more for the physical copy. And I wish things were, cheaper, but the world is very expensive right now, and that includes any kind of published books. And there really isn't a really good online book that's completely free. I've looked at some of the online books, and I'm not too impressed by them. So that's why I've been sticking with the Macmillan text. I think the text is very good. It's interesting. It's easy to understand. It flows very well, and I like Achieve a lot. And I think this is the best way to learn the content, even though it costs something, right? It's not free. I am mindful about the textbook cost, but it's very hard to have free textbooks for everything that are good, right? There's a lot of not so great textbooks that are online. Okay, so let's go out of Achieve. You also have Gradebook here, so you can see your grades if you want. And tech support. So please, if you have a problem with Achieve, call their tech support. We also have chat here. So you can chat with, this is a bot, but you can also get tech support through the bot. Right? So if you have a technical issue, like Achieve is not working on your computer, call tech support or text tech support, right? Do not call me, do not email me and saying I can't open Achieve in my MacBook. One, I don't use MacBook ever, so I'm not going to be familiar with the problems of your MacBook opening the website, right? Probably you have to use a different browser. So if you have a problem with one browser, use a different browser. But outside of that, I don't use the MacBook at all. I always use PCs. And everybody's PC is different. So I have no idea what's going on with your PC. So you're having a problem, call tech support. Most of the time there's not a problem, but if you do have a problem, please reach out to them. I am not tech support. I'm not IT department, unfortunately. Okay, so that's Achieve. So that's the course, that's the website right here, and that's the course ID, and you get 2-week free trial, and after that you need to pay, and please use the same email address for the free trial as for the full payment. Course theme, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. You hear that a lot, especially about things that are maybe a little bit controversial. Like, what's going on in our sky? Do we have all these drones? Is it aliens? Is it the military? Is it whatever, right? If you're going to say it's aliens, well, that's an extraordinary claim. You require more evidence to suggest that, right? If you're saying it's a military, it's a little bit easier to, it's more grounded, right? So you need evidence, but you don't need as much evidence. So that's why you hear that extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. It all ties around with something called Occam's razor, which is the simplest explanation for a given phenomenon is usually the best. So there are many possible explanations. If the simple explanation provides enough evidence, then it's going to be the better explanation than the more complex one. The other one, Google is not a synonym for research. This is a good one because, yeah, Google it. Google everything, and I Google everything too. If I don't know something, I Google. But you have to be careful with Google because Google is not research. Google gets you all kinds of stuff. It gets you good stuff, and it gets you junk. You know, take for instance Wikipedia. Wikipedia is not monitored. It's not peer-reviewed. Anybody can put something on Wikipedia. There's no maintenance of it. There is blatantly false information on Wikipedia, yet people use it all the time. Or they find something online and they just use it. They run with it because it's online. There's a lot of junk online. There's a lot of wrong information online. Now, Google Scholar is a lot different. Google Scholar is going to get you good information, but regular Google is going to get you everything, including bad information. So be very careful with Google. And I am a Googler. Like, I Google everything, but you got to be careful what you find, because if you're getting it from the wrong source, it could be wrong. Use of technology, I will incorporate PowerPoint. So basically, I've recorded all these PowerPoint presentations for you, and that will all be posted on Brightspace, not on Blackboard. So we changed over to Brightspace. So it'll be all posted on Brightspace. I think I wish I could go back to Blackboard because I'm not terribly fond of Brightspace so far. The online homeworks and Achieve, and it will be using PsycInfo and Google Scholar as research engines. Discussion board assignments and exams will be assigned online, along with the paper, which I'm going to talk about. I mentioned a little bit about, but I'll talk about more. You must follow the weekly guide. So where is the weekly guide? If you go to content, you'll see this thing says weekly guide. Now, all of this stuff is, so it's got basically the dates. It tells you when it begins. So week 1 is, here's the date. You click on it. Now this is not available yet because it's before the course starts, but I'll show you what it looks like. Week 1 on my end. You have this introduction to the course, which you're watching now. You're watching the introduction to the course. You have a to-do list. So every week you have a to-do list. So this tells you what the dates are, what the topic is, what the textbook is, or the online ebook, what the assignments are due. So this is welcome unit and orientation and chapter 1 in Achieve. And this is when it's due. So every week I have the to-do list, which tells you what you have to do and when it's due. Right? And that's all here under week 1. So these are the learning objectives for week 1. The to-do list I just showed you. The video that you're watching now, introduction to the course. Here's chapter 1 video lecture. So this is a lecture I made about chapter 1 that we're covering here. So you can watch that lecture on YouTube. Lecture chapter 1, this gets you a PDF or a PowerPoint of the lecture. So these are the lecture slides. So in case you don't want to watch the video lecture, you can get the lecture slides here right below it. I encourage you to watch the video lecture though, because I recorded them a couple years ago, and it takes forever to do, to record the video lectures for everything. So, you know, I recorded them for a reason. I think they're helpful. Most students prefer kind of an audio-visual stimulus rather than just, you know, reading the textbook. And so it's a good lecture. I mean, I think it's a good lecture that I've recorded based on each chapter. So it's similar to what I'd present in person without the Q&A. But the Q&A can come through email and Zoom, stuff like that. Then we get down to Achieve. So you have to do the welcome unit for week 1. You also have to do chapter 1 in Achieve. So you click these links. It takes you to Achieve. And then you got to do the assignments, welcome unit, all right, orientation here, and then obviously chapter 1. So you do that in Achieve. And I just showed you Achieve before. So if you do the welcome unit in Achieve, and then you do chapter 1 in Achieve, you're done for the week. And then these are videos here that you can watch that show you stuff about the topic for the week. So this is about science in general. So these are videos I found that I think are interesting and informative for you to supplement both of these right here, to supplement the information that you're learning. And that is chapter 1. So, I mean, that is week 1, I'm sorry. That's week 1 of the weekly guide. Week 2, same process. To-do list for week 2. These are the dates. This is the topic. This is the book. Here you have Achieve Chapter 2, and you also have Discussion Board 1 to do. And these assignments are due this time. So if you do the to-do list, you're good. Then I follow it up with the video lecture, the PowerPoint lecture, slides, the Achieve for Chapter 2, this link, the Discussion Board 1, and you just click on this, it takes you to the discussion board, and it's talking about paraphrasing. So the first discussion board assignment is on paraphrasing. You must paraphrase these 3 passages. And the reason I want you to paraphrase here is because research involves paraphrasing. So you need a little practice. I need to see that you can do this okay. That means put it in your own words, basically, paraphrase. Because eventually you'll be paraphrasing and then citing the sources you're using. So this is still introductory stuff. So that's discussion board 1. This is when it's due. Right? It's due on this date here. And then here is some stuff, some videos on how to paraphrase correctly. Here's some stuff on PsycInfo, how to use PsycInfo, and Google Scholar. This is a review of how to use PsycInfo, which is in the library system, library webpage, and Google Scholar. And that's week 2. And you'll do that for the whole semester up until week 15. Now, as the course goes on, we're going to be doing data collection. You're also going to have a paper to write. So you're going to have a midterm exam online. You're going to have a final exam online. And then you're going to have a paper. You're going to have those 4 rough drafts that I mentioned before. Introduction, method, discussion, and title, abstract, references. Those are your 4 rough draft assignments. And then you're going to have a final revised paper. So all of that is available. The paper is all available under written assignments. So it looks like this. And I will give you walkthrough videos and also like handout sheets for all these assignments. Well, except for the revised final paper, because the revised final paper is just make the changes that I asked you on the rough drafts. And then put the whole paper together. You are to upload all these rough drafts and the final paper as PDF files. Because it's just easier for the Turnitin program to process. So I use Turnitin, which checks for plagiarism and other things. And that's mainly because I want to see that you're doing the work correctly, that you're not copying and pasting. So you're supposed to be paraphrasing, which is putting things in your own words, and then citing, which is put basically author, comma, year in parentheses afterwards. If you're copying word for word, then Turnitin will tell me what you're doing, and then I will tell you, please don't do this. Right? So it's important not to just copy and paste. And these are all 4 of your assignments here. Introduction, method, discussion, title, abstract references, revised final paper. So the revised final paper is basically, you take the rough drafts, you look at the comments I gave you, you incorporate all those comments, make the changes, and then submit the entire paper with all these sections in it in one PDF file as a revised final paper. And then when I grade your paper, your final paper grade will be half of the rough draft average and half of this revised final paper. So the rough drafts are important. You need to put effort into them, because I am grading you on the rough drafts. I'm not punitively grading you, but I am grading you. And I'm giving you feedback and suggestions. So make sure you're reading my feedback, incorporating that into the final paper at the end of the semester. Here's our discussion board tab. You can see you have 10 discussion boards throughout the semester. So you'll see them come up in the weekly guide. So you're being graded on discussion boards. You're going to be graded on the paper, the different parts of the paper and the final paper. You're being graded on the exams. And you're also being graded on Achieve. So there is a good deal of work here. and I expect you to be able to handle it. If you have questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I am here to help you, but do it every week. Don't fall behind, and you'll be fine. And if you have a problem where you can't finish it, reach out to me and get it done when you can. But please try to keep up with the course, right? You do not want to just fall behind and kind of disappear and then try to do it all at the end. Like I said before, doing the whole course at the end of the semester is not an option. It's not viable. Now, the topic for the data collection this semester is going to change a little bit. So it's going to be based off of research involving social support and how different aspects of social support influence both physical and mental health. So recently I've been doing a lot of data collection on COVID and vaccination and people's attitudes towards vaccination. But I'm going to be switching that up to more stuff about social support and how it's affecting health. And so we'll be doing an online survey. I'll provide you the link and I'll collect the data. And then based on the topic we're covering, you're going to be writing the paper. So the paper will be based on our study that we're doing, the online survey that I'll be providing you. So all of our research is going to be focused on that. Let's go back to the syllabus. Make sure there's nothing else here that I want to talk about. Achieve, I already talked about. The paper I just mentioned. So the final paper grade will be 50% for the rough draft and 50% for the revised paper. So the rough drafts count, so please put effort into the rough drafts. Class participation, obviously we're online. I expect you to be doing the work each week. That'll be participation, right? These are some of the places you may need to reach out to. Advocacy and Resource Center. This is if you have problems with housing and food insecurity. They're here to help you with that. The Counseling Center, very helpful. Please contact them if you're feeling stress, anxiety, depression, any other issues. They are available and they're very helpful. Compliance and diversity. This involves sexual harassment, discrimination. If you have any issues here, you want to call this office. Office accessibility. So if you need extra time on the exams, I will need documentation from this office. They need to email me documentation stating that you have been approved to receive extra time on the exams. And this is every semester. So if you had it previously, the beginning of the semester, you got to register again with them. They're the only ones that can give you extra time or extra accommodations or different accommodations with regard to the course. I can't do anything for you. I only can follow what they tell me to do. So please contact them. Plagiarism. If you're going to copy and paste things, it's plagiarism. And it's basically failure for the course. Now, if it's accidental plagiarism, I will point it out to you and say, please, this paragraph or whatever is too much word for word. Please paraphrase it. But if you're going to submit me chunks of information of a paper that's copied word for word, it's a problem. So please do not copy word for word. Please, put the effort in. Do your own work. Do your own work honestly. Also, with the AI boom, do not have the AI write your paper. I can actually tell when the AI is writing your paper. So the AI is not as sophisticated yet. It's still towards the beginning. So when the AI writes for you, it sounds a little bit not genuine. I can pick up on certain things. Having used the AI before, I can pick out on things like I can say, "Oh, this looks like an AI generated paper." So do not have AI generate your paper. Write your paper. I give you explicit instructions and directions. Please follow the directions. Don't be lazy. That's like the take home point for all of this. Do not be lazy. Do your work, do it well, and you will be fine. If you have questions, reach out to me. Don't be lazy. These are the grading criteria: midterm 20%, final 20%, achieve 20%, discussion board total 10%, and the research paper 30%. Remember, that's half the rough drafts and half of the final paper, revised paper, makes up that 30%. So the writing is very important. These are the grades. I do not give incomplete for the course. If you're having serious issues with the course, please reach out to me. The reason I don't give incomplete is because everybody wants incomplete, and it's just not fair to give incomplete to everybody. And when I have given incomplete, the students don't finish it. It makes my life much harder. So I'm not a fan of incomplete grades. Don't ask for incomplete. Talk to me about your problems. I am very reasonable. I am understanding. If it's too overwhelming, your semester is so overwhelming you can't finish the course, we could talk about withdrawal. This course is not going anywhere. It's going to be offered in the summer. It's going to be offered in the fall. It's going to be offered in the spring. So that's, you don't have time for the course, take it another time. There's nothing wrong with the withdrawal. Incompletes is a mess. It never works out well for anybody involved. So I don't give them, I also don't give D-. I just don't like D- grade. So if you're close to passing, a D is what you'll probably get. If you're close. I don't like failing people. I will fail you if you don't do the work, though. So please do the work. This is the schedule. And this is all set up in the weekly guide as well. So you just follow the weekly guide, you'll be fine. You also must be registered through the registrar's office and cleared through the bursar's office. So make sure you've paid your bill or you've gotten financial aid situated, right? The college wants to get paid. If you don't pay the college, they're not going to be happy, and then bad things are going to happen. Like they can drop your schedule. So make sure that you pay them, and make sure you have arrangements, make sure you're on top of your financial aid, and all that stuff. Make sure you're registered for the course. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me. So hopefully that's pretty basic stuff for the course. And the course seems doable. And it is doable. Right? It is work, but it's doable. This is just another thing for Achieve. I have this on the syllabus, but I also have it here to register for Achieve. You must register for Achieve. 2-week free trial, then you have to purchase it. This is not optional. And that's about it. So hopefully that answers your questions. If you have anything else, please feel free to email me. My office hours are on Friday afternoon on Zoom. You can always set up an appointment. If you can't make that time, you can set up an appointment for an alternative time. I will try to rearrange my schedule for another time in which you are available. So, hope you enjoy the course. If you have questions, let me know. If not, bye for now. See you online for the instructions and walkthroughs for the paper. Otherwise, I'll see you on Zoom possibly, and questions through email. Have a good one. Enjoy the course.